Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David at the Irish Hotspur, coming at you with with an instant match reaction. Look, basically I'm on the big push for 1K as well. Anyone new here watching, make sure you smash that like. It's make sure you smash that subscribe. It really helps me out. I really want to get to 1K as soon as possible. And I'm joined by my sidekick Marcelo. Marcelo, what went wrong tonight?
Everything went wrong. I mean, from the first half, not clinical enough. Love Sonny should have been. That's a sitter for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
A second chance is a sitter for him. He usually scores
yeah,
those. But I always say this. People trying to get on Son's back. I always say this. Class is permanent. You know what I mean? Form is temporary. Trust me, Sonny will
yeah,
be back, and then when he's back on firing, you know what I mean. You'll be back in his side, and But yeah, Sonny not too clinical enough, not good enough in the final third ball. A lot of times, you know what I mean. Just a lot of
yeah,
times we were almost there, and then it's just like one little bad touch, one little mistake, one little. It's just it was the front three was just not good today. Not the
yeah.
attacking really. If you think about it, if you look back at it, it wasn't really that good. You know what I mean?
No,
I know. In live watch along, we were like, "Oh man, we can sense a goal here," but that never came. We never were able. You know what I mean? I know Hoiberg scored that beautiful goal, but let's be real here. That's just a
yeah.
brilliant strike, and it had nothing
Oh
to do with
man,
it had nothing to do with the setup or how we were playing. It was just
yeah.
he saw the shot, he went for it. Um, then
I was delighted to see him score, to be honest with Marcelo.
I was too.
Just quickly, what we will do is we'll welcome a couple of people into the chat here.
Yeah.
Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to talk a bit about tonight's game, and then after that, we're going to move on to the reasons why it is in the title that Enic they need to invest now. It's as simple as that. So look,
Absolutely.
welcome Premier Hotspur TV. David, I have been calling on the board for a couple of years now, and tonight just proves my point. Half our team are just being average, and on the board needs to invest and back the man, Jose Mourinho. First of all, big up Simon Premier Hotspur TV. Get over there, make sure you check him out and give him a subscribe. But don't make me jealous. Give me one too. And as well, Simon, big up as well. That's a brilliant comment. I'm going to keep that one for later on in the show if you don't mind. I do want to just talk about a bit about the match. We also have Charlie THFC. We have Trevor Norden. We have Eunice. We have Tommy G. We have the Rebler. We have Matt Hayes. Look, Matty, if you want to come on, let me know if you need more therapy. But look, we'll get into Charlie's comment here. He says, Enic out, Joe Lewis out. We'll get on to that. But he says, by an actual functional centre back. Tonight was a shambles. Yeah, on tonight, look, it was a shambles.
Shit.
Um,
Garbage.
but for
Fuck
me,
off.
look, we'll talk a bit about the game, and then I'm going to talk about why it's not Mourinho. Okay? So, look,
Yeah,
the game, we started off very good, Marcelo. I think you'll agree. The
I agree.
first 20 minutes, we were absolutely phenomenal, I thought. We were playing some of the smoothest football we've seen in a long time. Let's be fair. But then what I noticed is we weren't clinical when we create the chances. Look, okay, VAR. Look, that's another discussion for another day. All I'm going to say on it now is I'm fed up with it. I'm
Oh,
sick of
did you
it.
see? No. Another thing about VAR. I'm sorry. I had to
No,
say this.
no.
Did you look on Twitter? Did you see that picture of Allison? He was outside of his box. You cannot tell. I'll get that picture right now. You cannot tell me that motherfucker wasn't outside the box. And VAR doesn't even have the audacity to show us a replay. I was saying, where's the replay? Normally, when something controversial like this happens,
Yeah,
there's a replay. And you know what I mean? At least like there's a conversation. Where was that? Where was that? If you look at this picture, he is 100% outside the box. I could not believe it that this wasn't even checked. This wasn't even checked, man. And it's just, I think I have the picture right here. Here, let me see if I can share the.
it was an absolute look. The VAR, I just hate it. I think it's killing the passion in the game. You know, we all went crazy on the Matty Hayes watch along, a great watch along. We absolutely smashed record numbers over there tonight. So big
Yeah,
up anyone that was over there tonight that's over here. We really do appreciate the support. I know Matty does too. And thank you very much. It's a great watch along. Get over and make sure you watch the clips that Matty, I think, will be clipping and putting up. Look, we first 20 minutes, Marcelo, we were so good. But then it was the same old thing that we keep talking about. It's being clinical. Being clinical. Like
being clinical.
when the chances
Yeah,
presented themselves, we weren't clinical. Here's this picture there now that Marcelo you were talking about.
Yeah. If you take Charlie's comment down there, you can clearly see. Look at his fucking foot. Look at that. Look at his fucking hand. That's outside the fucking line, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No VAR, nothing. I don't know, man. I whether it was close or not, like at least get a VAR check or something like that. You know what I mean? But no, none of that, man. It's bullshit. It's.
And look, to be honest with you, like, we got away with a couple. Do you know what I mean? Liverpool did create a couple of chances.
Yeah.
But look, it was the same old thing. Like, even when we got a lot of breakaway plays, and our final ball was just lacking every single time tonight. Every single time. And it's not good enough. And then look, the first goal that went in, Marcelo, it's an absolute disaster. And we've had lengthy discussion about this. So look, first of all, Roden and Aurier never tracked Mane. They just let him run. Okay? Then you talk about Dyer and Ben Davies. They kept them on side. The Bobo the Clowns. This is the clown squad. They kept them on side. Okay? And then you... Right, so then it comes across. You have Eric Dyer back there. He has about 5 to 10 yards on Firmino. Okay? He wasn't even aware. He still come in and let him ahead of him to get the ball. But then you also look at Hugo Lloris. Like, as a keeper, he can't be afraid to come out and get taken out. Come out and claim the ball. No. Man, grab your ponies. Where are they? You're a World Cup winner. Come out and claim the ball. Like, and you know what I mean? And look, I'll be honest with people. I tried to ban the word Dr. Tottenham Spursy, but look, the cat's out of the bag.
That's it. That's Spursy, man. No. David, you know what you just said right there? That's 5 minutes. I mean, no, that's 5 mistakes, not 5 minutes. 5 mistakes in 5 seconds.
Yeah. No, it's
5 mistakes in 5 seconds. 5 mistakes from the back line in 5 seconds. And then people want to somehow blame Mourinho for that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, for example, organization. Obviously, like, for example, I blame Rodon and Aurier less because they did try to track back. But the issue is Mane was so offside, right? Because what they were doing, they were playing a high line, which we were talking about it early. We were playing a very high line that day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We were playing. That was the organization. But the issue is Dyer and Davies just completely lack of fucking attention. Not staying with the fucking high line. And when you have that, that's where we fucking get screwed. That's where we concede goals. When you don't pay attention and you're not organized. You know what I mean? Yeah, fuck football. Yeah. No, seriously, man. Fuck, like, honestly, fuck this team sometimes, man. But, you know what I mean? So, like, so like Rodon and Aurier think that they're playing, Mane out of, offsides, which they rightfully were. You know what I mean? Like they were playing the high line, which was Mourinho ass. But fucking Aurier, or no, not Aurier, Dyer and Davies keep him on. So when he gets the ball, right, Mane has loads of acre of space. There's no way they can track back in time to get him. You know what I mean? The game plan was to play him offside. That's fucking Dyer. I blame more that on Dyer and Davies. That's bullshit, man. How can you not keep a defensive line, a defensive shape? It's honestly, forget Sunday League football. I've seen Sunday League football more organized and more aware of that. That's shit, man. And I've been saying about Dyer, he is the most brainless fucking defender I have ever seen in my fucking life, man. Most brain. He looks at the ball, right? Go right past him, right? And people want to say, "Oh, it's a system." People want to say, "Oh, Hugo you thought Hugo would have it." Listen, bro. If that was a world-class center back, right? Which is what this club deserves. This is what we deserve, by the way. We deserve that. We deserve world-class. We're a top 6 club.
Yeah.
I want fans to start acting like it. I don't deserve that shit, bro.
No.
I don't deserve that.
What do we have to do to deserve that?
Yeah, we don't deserve that shit, dude. Yeah. He just stands there and watch the fucking ball. No cojones. Fucking whip that. Send it to put your laces through that. Send it to you, David. Send it all the way to fucking Ireland. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree, lad. I agree. I'd happily receive it. At least he's doing something. Do you know what I mean? Send it
Just
to me with a
stands there and
signature on it though as
bullpuck.
well. But look,
And he does
it's
that all the
absolutely
time.
disaster. But Marcelo, one thing we highlighted after the goal went in, right? The one thing we highlighted, which I think is crucial to talk about, was the reaction when it went in. They're all standing there looking at each other like, whose fault is it? So grab your cojones, put your hand up, say, look, it's my fault, but all of us need to be better. Do you know what I mean? All of us need to collectively be better. It's the reaction. They're all looking at each other like, oh, what happened there? Not one of them knew. It's a disaster.
No,
The brain
I'll say this. The only one that actually showed the proper reaction was Joe Rodon, because when he made a mistake, he didn't look at anybody else but himself. He looked proper pissed at himself. He looked very angry at himself, which, listen, defenders are going to make mistakes, but like it's when you look at it's when you're able to look at yourself and admit that you made that mistake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rodon in the first goal was rightfully looking at Dyer and Davies, because they're like, why the fuck are you playing him onside? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but not only that, though, Marcelo, you have Dyer, Davies, and Lloris all looking at each other.
All looking at each other.
You have Lloris looking over at Aurier and Roldan. Do you know what I mean? It was just like a big circle of idiot.
Yeah,
that's what it was. It was just a big circle full of idiots.
Oh man,
look,
it's circuit relay or whatever it's called.
before we get into into the halftime substitutions and stuff like that, I want to take this comment by the Rebler. Aurier left the stadium after being subbed off. Now that's breaking news. That's fresh off the press. Look, unless it's a family emergency, that's not the attitude I want to see. And to be honest with you, he's not only let Jose down, he's let the team down, and it's not the attitude or mentality of a player that I want at my squad.
Yeah, no, listen, listen, man. Winks did the same thing, at what was it? I think the Antwerp game or like the last game or something like that. You know what I mean? He did the same thing. He got subbed off and he walked out in the tunnel and never returned. He never returned. You know what I mean? You right? Remember that? He left his squad mates. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The squad mates that needed him. You know what I mean? He wasn't there for his team. He left his team. Inexcusable, David. Inexcusable.
Yeah.
Get out of the club. You don't want to be in the stadium? You don't want to be there? Fine, get out. Get the fuck out. Go. Go get Max Aarons.
I don't have any of this crap like they had with Arsenal with Saka.
Yeah. Listen, go get Max Aarons. For fuck's sakes.
I don't want any of this crap either.
Yeah. Let's put the money on the table. You know what I mean? Our board keeps complaining about, the English quota, the English quota, the English quota. Well, fuck's sakes. Fix it then. You're just buying these foreign players for cheap who are shit, and then keeping them. Yeah. Lamela has been here for 7 years. Lamela's been here for 7 fucking years, David. He's about to get a testimonial.
Yeah. No, look, for me, no, it's inexcusable. I don't want any of this Xhaka situation where we're like, oh, like Arsenal fans were with him, let's give him a second chance.
No,
whatever it is. Whatever walk of life is in, you do not walk and leave someone when they're wounded. Our team was wounded, and he stormed off at halftime, and it was probably a big bust up in the dressing room at halftime. Okay, and that's probably why they came out and scored so early in the second half. But look, Marcelo, we're going to talk about the substitutions. I presume Mourinho bringing Aurier off, even though Doherty was having a shit show, probably did piss Aurier off. It's still not an excuse. But what do you make of the substitutions at halftime? You brought Aurier and Winks on. You brought Winks and who was the other one you brought?
Lamela. See, you're so shit, you don't even remember that he was on the pitch. He's so anonymous. Just send Vinicius back to Benfica, I guess.
Look,
I mean, no. I know he had a bad game in Wickham, right? But players have bad games. You know what I mean? If you're gonna go by, a player if he has a bad game. You know what I mean? That was really only Vinicius' bad game. You know what I mean? That's the only game I can honestly look at this season and say, you know what, that was a bad game for Vinicius. He didn't do enough, right? If you look at you look at Antwerp, you look at, Marine, you look at any game, you look at West Brom, you look at any game he's played, you said he's been good. You know what I mean? He had one bad game, and all of a sudden you're going to play Lamela, Eric fucking Lamela over you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not Bale, not Mora, who's played striker before, not Son, put Mora as a winger and put Son up front. Not any of that. Yeah. Eric Lamella.
Yeah.
Just ship him back to Benfica
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah.
Just ship him
Look,
back.
my point is Vinicius is coming into a situation where he knows his chances are going to be limited, and that every chance he get, he has to take. That's on the player, right? And I firmly believe if he would have took that against Wickham, he would have came off the bench today, no problem.
Oh, that's fucking
But
harsh,
look,
David. Because
I
like
know, I know.
he scored like say like okay. Well, tell me this. Tell me this. What fucking chances did Eric Lamella take to warn him a spot to play in the Premier League? You know what has he done this season so far to warn him game time in the Premier League and a game, big game too? You know against
He
Liverpool.
probably look. In fairness to Lamella, he probably has done more against in meaningful games than what Vinicius has. To be fair, but look, for me, Harry
Come on,
Winks is the player I want to
that's in the
discuss. The Harry
past.
Winks fan club. The Harry Winks fan club is what I want to discuss. Now, after today's game, you now have to start siding and saying the guy is not good enough for Tottenham and stop making every excuse in the world for this guy. Okay? The fact of the matter is, and I called this out very early on in my debate about Winks not being good enough, that every time he plays, no matter who he plays against, we get overrun in midfield.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
First half in Wickham, we got overrun. He had to bring Højbjerg on to try to help him out. Okay, he got the goal, and people gassed him up. Do you know what I mean? He plays today, he comes off the bench. People expect, oh yeah, Winks is on, great. We're going to try and get more possession. No, it's never going to happen. We get overrun. And the fact is, Liverpool have better players than what Wickham do. Yeah. And they exposed that today. Winks is not good enough. He failed to make an impact.
No. Look, listen. I already said it. Sell Winks. Get either Sabitzer. Get that kid from Baklach or whatever the name is, the club, the German club that we've been looking at, Mateos Ajos or something like that. His name is really difficult to say, but he's also pretty popular. He's actually a pretty good baller. I saw him against Dortmund. He looked like a really good footballer. He's young too. He's German. You know, German usually are good at technical football. But yeah, get him or Sabitzer. I'd rather get Sabitzer, obviously. But look, listen. As far as Winks go, sell him, sell Aurier. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I listen. At this point, I don't give a fuck. Just sell Aurier. If you're gonna leave the stadium, gonna leave your teammates behind because you got subbed off. Because you got subbed off. You know what I mean? Then you don't deserve to wear the badge. Sell him. Yeah. Get Max Aarons. That fills up the English quota. I don't care if he's 45 million. You do the job. You fucking you haven't invested in this club long enough. Just do the fucking job. Get Max Aarons. Then fuck it. You know what I mean? As an attacking midfielder, get Todd Cantwell. You know what I mean? Yeah. I heard we've been linked with him. You know what I mean? He's gonna be like what 14, 20 million. Get fucking him. Yeah. Sell fucking Winks, and you know what I mean. That we're gonna have Skips back. We're gonna have Cess back. That's gonna fill the English quota, and we're gonna be fine. Just it's to a point where enough is enough, man. I've endured this enough. I can't take it. I can't take it no more. Yeah. And then people have the audacity to blame Jose Mourinho. It's like, well, if he doesn't play Winks. If he plays Winks, you ask for Sissoko. And then he plays Sissoko, and then Sissoko doesn't do much. And then he asks for Winks. And then he doesn't play Dyer. People ask for Dyer. And then it's just, when are we going to start realizing that it's just, the shit, you know what I mean? Really.
Oh, no, look, 100%, Marcelo. We're going to get onto why it's not Jose's fault and everything else now in a couple of minutes. We'll just run through a couple of quick comments here. Højbjerg is such a guy. His post-match interview was brilliant. Look, I will be getting on to Højbjerg in a couple of minutes, so I just run through a few more comments here. We have Conor Fogarty. David, do you still think we can win the league? No. Look, I am one of the most positive Spurs fans you'll ever meet. No. What I will say to you is, it's a strange season. Anything can happen. Well, I'm not driving the train anymore. People know I was driving the train. I'm not driving the train anymore. I'm kind of on a seat near the exit door. But I can't fully give up on my boys yet, right? I can't do it. I can't do it, right?
I'll say this. I still think we can have a good season. Look, I'm not saying to not be all negative and doom and gloom, and we're gonna get by Doherty. I want to get to Doherty real quick.
Yeah.
But to just be a little bit more positive, I still think we're gonna have a good season. Hopefully, we can make top four. I think Leicester. will start dropping form. I think West Ham is going to start dropping form. And even if though Liverpool beat us today, trust me, that doesn't mean that they're back.
Yeah,
Um, but I think we can still nick that top four, and I still think we can go very far in the FA Cup and Europa League. I think we can
yeah,
win those trophies. And listen, if we win the League Cup and Europa League, that's a great season. And if we win, or maybe even the FA Cup, you know what I mean?
yeah.
We're far into these cups, so I still think we can have a good season this season. You know what I mean? I think it's far better than last season, but
Look,
yeah,
as much
the
as
league
much
is
as it
over
kills me
though.
to say, Marcelo, I think it will come to a point where you kind of decide league or Europa League, and you put all your eggs in the one basket. I
I'm
really
saying
didn't
Europa
want it to
League.
come to this point. I really didn't want it to come to this point, but it could come to that point at some stage. Before we move on to Højbjerg, thoughts on Doherty, Marcelo? For
Shocking.
me, shipping back
Uh,
to the League of Ireland, he's not good
please.
enough.
No.
Hasn't worked out. He's been a shit show. Okay, look, he played right back. He was playing right back. He's played right wing back. He's been shit. Mourinho tries him at left wing back. Okay, he's right footed, but his
Sure.
passing was absolute calamitous. Marcelo, what do you make on this guy?
Man. Listen. Um, I said in my first tweet when we first signed him, I said I had a good feeling by Højbjerg, but I said I didn't have a good feeling about Doherty, but I'll still back him.
Yeah,
My feeling proved to be right. You know what I mean? Because in the beginning of the season, everybody was hyped up about Doherty, but not enough people were getting hyped up about Højbjerg. You know what I mean? Everybody was a little,
yeah,
Højbjerg, he seems like a decent player. And I was like, no, man, listen, we made some great deals with Southampton, and I think this is another good one. Højbjerg can be
yeah,
class, and I was right about that. And Doherty, listen, we should have gone for Emerson. We should have gone for anybody else.
yeah,
Dumfries, Max Aarons, really anyone else, really, but him.
yeah.
No offense, David. I know he's your fellow countryman, but
No, I can't
Jesus,
defend him. Look, just
no,
because he's
Jesus
Irish,
Christ.
I'm not going to defend him.
Yeah,
For me,
Jesus.
he's been shit. I'll call him out. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter where you're from, what country you're from, whatever. If you're a Tottenham player, I want the best, and he's not up to
Yeah.
it.
No,
And
he
that's
he is
end of.
shit. No, he really is shit.
Yeah,
And I thought maybe if we played him at right wing back, I was like, we're playing him as a right back, so it's gonna be tough. Give him some time. But then we started playing him right wing back, and he has been absolute shit, man. I can't.
yeah.
Nah, he's shit.
Big up. Welcome in Enoch Nurse, Gaffey. We have Conor Fogarty. We have loads of people here. Marcelo, we're going to move on to Højbjerg.
Yeah.
One thing we did want to talk about with Højbjerg is right. First of all, actually, I do want to apologise to Matt Hayes. I did say we got the goal because of a change in system. With the five in midfield that worked, we got a goal. I do apologise. I jumped the gun. That wasn't the reason why we got the goal. It was just pure inspiration, pure class, and pure wanting to win and make
Hunger and
something.
desire.
And it just basically blasted the ball into the net. There were shades of Victor Wanyama written all over it. And look, the celebration showed the guy's mentality. He just wanted to get the ball picked up, get back to the halfway line. Let's
Fucking
go.
pussy
We're
winks,
back in
fucking
this.
looking for high five.
Yeah,
Fucking
and Marcelo, you can take this over right now.
no,
Tell
no,
us,
no,
okay,
man.
Højbjerg's reaction was great. What a man. But tell us what was wrong.
Yeah, and listen, man. If Winks spoke Portuguese, French, and was born from another country, he'd be shipped out by now. He would be $3 million, 3 million quid or whatever, and he would have been shipped out long ago, man. The only reason people rate this guy at all is because he's homegrown and he has a nice hair and he looks good. That's
Yeah,
about it. I mean, like, let's be honest here. You're 2-0 down. We get a goal back, and you're celebrating. You're trying to give a high five. You know what I mean?
just
Ah,
get the
man.
ball and get it back to the
No,
fucking halfway line.
you
You
look
know
at
what I mean?
Højbjerg's face. He looked proper pissed, and he almost slapped him, bro. And I wish
Yeah,
he
he
would.
gave him a bitch
I
slap. Get out of
Yeah,
here.
I almost
Mm,
wish he would, man,
mm,
because Højbjerg doesn't
mm.
like. I speak about not deserving this. Højbjerg doesn't deserve that. Højbjerg
Yeah,
doesn't deserve that. He's the only player out there. And you look at his post match interview, he was so harsh on himself. He was so sad. You know what I mean?
okay.
He was
Yeah,
so devastated, and he was the only one there that could walk out there with his head held high because he left everything out there. You know what I mean? He don't deserve that. No, no, dude. If I'm his player, right, and I'm looking at Højbjerg and I'm seeing the amount of shift he's putting, and
yeah,
and I see players lacking, I would. Man, I'd be so pissed, man. I feel so bad for him. He deserves a lot more than that shit. A lot
yeah,
more.
yeah, 100%. I agree with you. But then look, after that, it just fell apart, didn't it, Marcelo?
Nah, it did.
It just
Yeah.
it just completely fell apart. And look, me one thing I do want to say is, okay, so me and Marcelo give the game a lot of hype before every game, the team a lot of hype
Absolutely.
before every game, right? But that's the way we support our team. We believe going into every game we have an opportunity. We're Tottenham Hotspur. We want to think big. We're calling for the rest of you to join us. Now, one thing I do see a lot is like people saying, "Oh, well, you've egg on your face." Look, one thing I will say to you is we don't mind losing. It's the manner of the way we lose, and that's what really upset us tonight. Do you know what I mean? We can take losing, Marcelo, but it's the manner of the loss tonight. It's the
Yeah.
manner of the lack of spine, the lack of passion, the way they just let Liverpool pass the ball around at our stadium, at home, Marcelo.
Yeah.
At our
3
home,
goals at home.
in our
3
stadium,
goals
right,
at
where we
home.
should be most comfortable.
Yeah. 3
We
goals
let
at
them
home.
pass around and make a fool of us like that.
3
That's
goals at
beyond
home.
forgivable.
3 goals at home. 3 away goals. Honestly, if you're being honest, David, I was way more proud of our performance against Anfield and our performance at home last season, where Los also had that big miss. Way more proud. I
Yeah,
didn't go and the one where we lost 1-0 at home, where Los also missed that big chance where we should have, you know, been 1-1, right? He
yeah.
he. Oh, this is HyperX Cloud headphones, but
It's the good stuff. That's what it
yeah,
is.
it's the good stuff. Yeah, it's wireless. But yeah, no, like listen, even at home last season, you know what I mean? That game we showed fight. We really had a lot of moments that
Yeah,
it should have been a 1-1 game, you know what I mean? And the one at Anfield, we should have won that game, you know what I mean? If Stevie would have buried those chances. Those games are the games where you can, keep your chin up and say, lads, just unlucky, it is what it is, it's fucking football. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But this game is just you're at home, you've been rested, and you do that. Just shit. Just really
yeah.
shit.
It's not good enough. Like, do you know what I mean? When
Nah,
someone comes to your turf, defend it with a bit of pride. That's
yeah,
all we ask for, Marcelo. We ask for our players to defend not only our pitch, our turf, our fan base, just with a bit of pride. It's all we ask. If you're going to lose, at least go down fighting.
yeah.
Today we didn't even fight. That was the most heartbreaking and gut wrenching thing about this performance is the fact we didn't show any fight,
And
and
then
it
we sold.
kills me.
And you know who had that? And we sold him last summer. Jan Vertonghen. He might have been finished, but I'm telling you, bro. I said it. Don't sell Jan. If we don't have a replacement for him, don't sell it. Eric Dyer is not a replacement for Jan Vertonghen. Everybody's like, "Oh, Marcel, you don't know what you're talking about. You're talking about." I said, I said to these guys, I would rather have Jan Vertonghen a million times over than Eric Dyer because Jan
Yeah,
Vertonghen gives a fuck about this club. He cares about
yeah,
this club. You know what I mean? You go watch the documentary. Remember that scene where it was showing all like the individual mistakes? He was so pissed at himself. He
yeah,
looked so devastated. You know what I mean?
yeah,
The
yeah,
Norwich game. You know what I mean? He was so devastated when we lost that game. So
yeah.
devastated. And we
But
let him
that's
go.
yeah. Look, yeah, it did. It affected him, and to be honest with you, that's the reaction you want. Even if
Yeah.
something doesn't go a player's way, it's the reaction that tells me a lot. And today's reaction
They don't
really let me
react.
down.
They don't, no, David, they don't react. I've been saying it. I've been saying honestly, David. I'm fed. Now, David. I had enough. Really, I'm done. If I just put fucking Road on and Taganga in there. Just put
Yeah,
them fucking in. Put them
yeah,
fucking in there.
100%.
I don't care anymore, man. No, I'm done, bro. Like fuck this. Just
One thing,
Dyer. Why play Dyer all the time? He's just gonna do the same shit.
yeah,
I rather Taganga is gonna put his heart out there. You know what I mean? He's gonna make
yeah,
mistakes, but he's gonna put his heart out there. You know what I mean? Rodon put his heart out there. You know what I mean? He wore the badge. He fucking went and made tackles. He was trying. Nah, man. Fuck it. Nah, put Taganga Rodon. I'm done. Done with
yeah,
this. Done
yeah.
with these
Look,
fucking senior
we're
players.
we're, we're going to move on to Enic and that in a minute. One thing I do want to get onto is why it's look. First of all, actually, Hugo Lloris, that's unforgivable for the second goal.
No
You
shit.
use a football IQ. You can see Alexander Arnold waiting there to cue it up to smash it in. You know Ben Davies isn't where he should be. You palm it out a player, you palm it out a lot wider. But look, what I want to do get on to now is a lot of people are going to divide us between is it the players, is it Mourinho? Now, I am going to have my say. I do think it's look. I'm not. You cannot blame Mourinho tonight. Okay, The fact of the matter is we had Pochettino, we've had Mourinho. Okay, we played two different styles with two different philosophies. One, we played attacking. The other one now we're playing defensive. With Pochettino, we played with slaps on the backs and, you're great, this, that, and the other. Under Mourinho now, it's a bit tough love. Okay? And either or, anytime we get a chance to be great, to do something absolutely fantastic, give our fans a bit of joy, they bottle it. Okay? They're just happy to walk out there with a fresh haircut, new shiny sparkly boots to be noticed by the cameras, and just enjoy the occasion rather than win. And for me, like tonight's goals, you go on tonight's goals, it's all individual mistakes, lads. Yeah. It's all individual mistakes. Unless Mourinho actually has his kit and his boots on, with Mourinho number 25 on the back, okay? You cannot blame him. It's the players. No. It's the common denominator between the two teams where we were on the potential path to greatness is the players. And it's as simple as that. You cannot blame Mourinho.
No.
You cannot blame Mourinho for this.
No.
And the reason why I want to get onto this is because I don't want to end up like in a situation where Arsenal where we called them delusional, but they kept on saying it's the manager, it's the manager, it's the manager. When in hindsight, after they've now realised it's the players, it's the quality of the players at the club. Yeah. And we don't want to fall that far behind.
Yeah, look at that. They removed. Listen, they used to complain that all Wenger did was win an FA Cup and get top 4 every season. But then they sacked Wenger, and then now look at them. They can't even fucking get top 4 or top 6. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're struggling to get top 6.
Yeah. No, it's a joke. To be honest with you, Marcel, look, it's gut wrenching, it's heartbreaking, and like one thing I do say is let's not be divided. Yeah. Let's all look. There's no better time than now to rally behind the team, get behind everybody. Like, you know what I mean. But Marcel, we've also gone to the point where we're kind of tired of criticising the players. It's not their fault. They find themselves
and manager.
Yeah, it's not the players or the managers, right? Okay. So Pochettino, there was a lack of investment. Mourinho, he hasn't got the investment he needed in the quality of players he needs with the quality of manager he is. It's not the players' fault because they find themselves at a club where they're not good enough to be at. Quite frankly, they're not good enough to be at. So for me, it's now on to recruitment and Enic.
Yeah, no,
take it away with your thoughts.
Look, listen, Milinkovic, 25 million release clause available. Sanchez, get Milinkovic. Let's go do it.
Yeah.
Let's go do it. 25 million. I'm not being delusional. I'm not being crazy. I'm not being completely out of line. I understand it's tough, but just because something is tough doesn't mean you can't do your job, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's tough. And listen, you know what's fucking really tough, David? Having to watch that shit. You know what I mean? That's really tough because I care about this club. And having to watch that shit is really tough. It really hurts. It really sucks.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Like, just because something is tough doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. I still support the club, win or lose or draw. So go in there, get Milinkovic, get that fucking release clause, get it done. He's one of the best, brightest prospect. You can't tell me 25 million for one of the best aerial duelists in the Serie A, one of the best tacklers in Serie A, one of the best interceptionists in Serie A, one of the a guy that holds almost every record for 25 million. You cannot tell me Milinkovic isn't worth it and that we can't fucking do it. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
Absolute bullshit. I don't care. Don't care.
Yeah.
Get the fucking job done. We go in here and we say, oh, but Enic is an investment firm. All they do is look for a profit.
Yeah.
Okay. So So you're just gonna accept that? It's like you know what I mean? It's like if you it's the definition of insanity, David. It's like if you look at a dad abusing a child and say, oh, but the dad is an alcoholic. You know what I mean? So he can abuse the child. It's like, no, that's not fucking okay. Just because you see something wrong. You know what I mean? Just because, if something is wrong, you gotta fix it for fuck's sakes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just saying, oh, Joe Lewis isn't like Abramovich. I wish he was fucking Abramovich. I wish does Abramovich have a brother or something. I wish he buys our fucking club, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Abramovich spent $200 million. You know what I mean? He got fucking players, and maybe they're not doing well, but who knows? Tuchel, could maybe turn it around for them, and you know what I mean. As soon as Werner and Harvards, get the feel of the league, which they will, you know what I mean. They are quality, trust me. And when they get their foot in the league, I'm telling you, they're gonna go flying, and they're gonna breeze right past us, and that's gonna fucking happen because guess what? guess what? Instead of going for fucking Max Aarons for 35 million, we pay for Doherty for 14 million. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Instead of going for Bruno Fernandez for 5 extra million, we go and spend for, Lo Celso, who I like, but you know what I mean? We could have had Bruno
yeah.
fucking Fernandez for 5 extra million.
We'll be talking about a completely different team if we had him.
Yeah,
You know
instead
what I
of
mean?
we could have gotten Grealish, but instead, they gave fucking Pochettino and Kudu for fuck's sakes. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
fucking Kudu, man. And then these guys want to talk about English quota. We could have had an English player for 5 more million, and instead they got an Nkudo, a foreign player, because he's 5 million cheaper. And then this board has the audacity to slap us in the face in saying, "Oh, we can't buy players because of because of a homegrown issue." Well, you created that homegrown issue because you're cheap fucking
yeah,
bastards, and you don't pay for quality players because you look at
yeah,
these cheap foreign players. So at the end of the day, fuck you, Enic. Fuck you, Joe
yeah,
Lewis. Get the fuck out of my club or spend the fucking money.
yeah. Look, there's no excuses for it, Marcelo, right? We take in revenue from the club shop, from jersey sales. We take in revenue from TVs. We still take in revenue from sponsorships. There's no excuse for it, right? With Milinkovic, we all know centre back right now would really rejuvenate that back line and give something to it, okay? 25 million in football terms is fuck all. You're not going to go broke. You're never going to fold over. You're never going to have financial issues. You know what I mean? You'll make it up throughout the year. I'm sick of hearing we can't sign this because of the English quota. I'm sick of hearing, oh, we don't have the money. We took out 100 million to cover the losses this season. We do have the money. For sometimes you just have to put your hand in your pocket and take the chance, take the leap. If you don't take the leap, you can never mix it with the big boys.
Yeah.
You will never fully ever be accepted in that league when you were buying Poundland versions of players. When you buy cheap, you get mistakes. I actually done an interview with We Are Tottenham TV with John straight after the game.
I saw that. It was fantastic.
And what I said is, we Ferraris up front and Nissan Micros at back and the back line.
Yeah.
And it's the
Yeah.
truth. It's the truth. And the
I
thing
think you're
is,
being
right?
generous saying Nissan. Nissan's at least durable. You know what I mean? That's more like a Beetle, Volkswagen from the 1950s. That's falling apart that we have in
We
the
have
back.
Dacia Dusters at the back. That's what we have.
Yeah.
But
No,
the
man.
thing is,
Shit. Oh, man.
like, what we're saying is okay. Instead of just sitting there accepting these excuses, okay, you never get. It's another thing in life. It's a cycle in life. You don't get. You can either accept how things are, or you can push to be better and want change. Okay, and when you push to change, it usually happens. Now the thing is, instead of just sitting there and accepting all these excuses and lapping them up, okay, I get it. We will defend our team to the last, but then there comes a point where you have to say, "Hang on, no,
This is bullshit.
this isn't right." Right, we're in a strange position right now where we can either push off for greatness or fall outside the top six. And we have a few days left in the transfer market, Marcelo. And for me, you dig deep into your pockets and you get Mourinho and the players he needs, and you're going to get the outcome at the end of the season of what you want, which is trophies.
Yeah.
And the more trophies you win, the more revenue you bring in, the further you go in competitions. So they will get that investment back.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Look, listen. David, you said so many right things that I don't even know what else I can really add to that. It's spot on, because at the end of the day, if we just keep making these excuses, we're just digging our own graves. You know what I mean? Making these bored excuses. It's what they want, David. You know what I mean? It's what they fucking want.
Yeah.
And it's, for me, it's like, I had a couple people in the Spurs group chat, and people from Spurs fan base and say, oh yeah, just because Marcelo from Twitter.com said, what I mean, Enic needs to invest and pressure Enic, they're gonna do it. I'm like, yeah, no, of course, me as an individual can't do fuck all. But us as a fan base, if we had any balls, any cojones, and weren't such a spineless fan base sometimes, we would stand up to Enic and say, no, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
Spend money. Invest in our club. We're tired of it. You know what I mean? People have the audacity to tell me, "Oh, give Enic some time. They have a project. Their project is well, hold on a second, David. They've been here for almost like a fucking 20 years, 28 years or something like that. It's been how long have they been here for, man? And like how much longer is this project gonna be, man? Because fuck's sake, I don't want to be 50 years old and still waiting for our first Premier League. Holy shit, man. You know?
Marcelo, can we address one thing I want to address right now is the stadium situation. There's a lot of comments in there. There's one here from DM. There's one there from Eunice and stuff like this. So DM says, and who says they built the stadium? Guess what? They didn't build it. It's a debt. Where were the profits? Okay, so look, I want to address the stadium thing. Okay, so no matter, right, so at the end of the day, right, what we need to remember is, okay, they built the stadium and the training ground facility for the better of the club. But don't forget, lads, they're an investment firm, okay? They know by building that stadium and by building that training ground, the profit compared to what they bought Tottenham for, to what they're going to be able to sell it, right? And they're not going to sell it. They're going to sell it with the cover, the stadium costing, and the training ground, okay? And not only the training ground, the training ground, the stadium, and profit. Yeah. They're going to end up making that by the time they sell it.
They're going to make triple.
So that's what you call a clever debt. It's a clever debt because they know, and the thing is, in the meantime, they're also getting Tottenham to pay for it by not investing in players and taking the profits to start paying it off. So it's a very clever debt. You have to understand what business is like before we get into talking about the stadium. They know when they sell the club, they're going to make the price of the stadium back plus profit, the price of the training facilities back plus profit. It's a smart investment, and this is what we talk about. What we're asking them to do now is go into their pockets. They're £1 billion owners, okay? There's many other things they can put up as collateral and stuff like that, okay? Just to buy players, and it'll be in their best interest, Marcelo, because we're in a dangerous position now where we might not qualify for Champions League. You'll end up losing Harry Kane. You'll end up losing Jose Mourinho, right? And then the price of the club comes down.
Yeah.
So for me, it's in their best interest to buy the players and make sure we qualify.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, listen, Champions League football, not even that. You risk losing big players, and you also miss losing big money on Champions League football. You know what I mean? And you miss losing attracting big players like Sabitzer. Sabitzer's not going to come here if we don't get Champions League football.
Yep.
You know what I mean? He's not going to come here. Not a chance. Why would he leave Leipzig? Why would he not go like to anywhere else? So, you know what I mean? Look, listen. No, we need Champions League football, and you know what I mean. For us to get Champions League football, Milinkovic, go get Milinkovic, go get a proper center back, and we can get Champions League football.
Look, Marcelo, another thing is it's always the cheapest option, and it's detriment to the team.
Yeah, it is.
Look, as much as Rodon has worked out and it's been a smart investment, right? Mourinho wasn't calling for Rodon. Mourinho was calling for Skriniar or someone more in the game. And they didn't give it to him. They said, what we do is we'll give you the best prospect in the Championship, who we know in the future will be a Premier League defender. But do both. Be ambitious. You don't get the best manager in the world to not back him. And that's why we're now in a situation with the back line we have, because we bought Davies as a cheap left back option. We bought Dyer in as a cheap fill between right midfield, centre back, and defensive midfield as a utility player. Do you know what I mean? You bought Doherty in as a cheap right back when we were touted to go and get Emerson or Max Aarons, who are better than him. Okay, and that's why we have the players we're in. And the thing is, like, people are now saying come the summer, but the reason why we need to do it now is because come the summer, you're going to have to sign Toby Alderweireld's replacement. You're going to have to sign Hugo Lloris's replacement. And then if you don't make Champions League, you're going to have to find a replacement for Harry Kane.
Yeah.
So it's important we invest now this window.
Well, the thing is, even for those replacement, we're going to need Champions League, because if you want to, if you want to replace quality with quality, you know what I mean? If you want to replace someone with better quality, you need Champions League, because you need to attract the quality players. But it's incredible, David, because honestly, it's like the board doesn't even care if we want Champions League or not, because they're giving Mourinho all this shit French players, and expecting him to work magic, and he just simply can't.
Yeah.
And look, if Mourinho gets top 4 in a trophy here, oh my God, he should be given a raise. Because it's unbelievable. Look, let me just be real here, David. Eric Dyer does not even get into some relegation team center back. That's how shit he is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Forget the top 10. You know what I mean? He does not get into any of these top 10. Do you think he gets over Gabriel? No. From Arsenal. Do you think he gets over Thiago Silva? Not a chance. John Stones or Laporte? No. You know what I mean? He doesn't get in. You know what I mean? He doesn't get past Henderson. who's a center
Yeah,
midfielder.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And
yeah.
then you
No,
know what I mean? And then you look at Davies. Look at Davies. He doesn't get into any of the top 10 left backs, let alone the
yeah,
Premier League. Maybe you know what I mean?
yeah.
Um,
100%. Look,
y-
what
yeah,
we'll do is we'll get into a couple of comments. Slushy
yeah,
Deluxe says, what are we still doing up, Marcelo? Look, Slushy, you start gut wrenching and heartbreaking. I just felt everyone might need a bit more Spurs therapy. So did
yeah.
Marcelo. Do you know what I mean? We're very gutted. We're very
It's
down
only
about
8 o'clock
it.
here, so it's
And
not that late.
yeah, yeah, but look, things need to be spoke about, and it's better doing it now rather than a day or two. Do you know what I mean? Because for me, look, I know a lot of it is emotion, but a lot of it is sensible emotion.
Yeah,
Do you get what I mean? But look, let's take Adam Fox's comment. Players need leave first before we can invest in the eyes of Levy. His biggest splurge came from the money we got from selling Bale. Okay, Adam Fox. So me and Marcelo have actually spoke about this before, and I'm going to tell you why it's not Levy's fault. So put yourself in Levy's shoes. Enic's paying you big bucks to do a job, and your job is to put out the stories they want you to put out, make clubs self-sustainable, that they don't lose money, so that Enic aren't forced to put their hands in the pocket, right? And it's exactly what he's done. He's done his job. He's done his job. He's done what half the players aren't doing. He's doing his job, okay? So Levy, if you're paying Levy that big money to be the scapegoat for the club, so that you take the attentions off Enic, so that then they're not getting any negative press, okay? You're going to do it if you're Daniel Levy.
yeah,
He's living the dream. He's a multimillionaire now. He's got holiday homes all over the place. You know what I mean? He's in contact with Premier League players. He's in the football business like we all want to be. He's living the dream. Why
listen,
wouldn't he
he's
take
the only
money
one
for
that
it?
cares. He's only look. Listen, Levy is the targeting. Levy is the wrong thing. You know, listen,
Yeah,
Levy
that's
is
what I'm
the only
saying.
one on the board that cares. Joe Lewis doesn't give a fuck. He's in his yacht, probably, looking at models or whatever. You know what I mean? That old rusty bastard. He doesn't give a fuck. Levy is there. He's in the training ground. He's talking with the players. He's trying to see what he can do with the resources that he has. But the issue is he's trying to do with the resources that he has, which is not
Yeah,
much resources. So you can't fucking. I bet if Levy had money. Oh my God! If he had Jeff Bezos and they gave him so much money, you know what I mean? Just like here, Levy, have 200 million for a transfer window. You know what I mean? Spend
yeah,
it up. Oh my God, we will be Premier League champions.
yeah, 100%, 100%. But like, I guess what we're saying, Marcelo, is that Levy's not the problem. Levy's doing
He isn't
exactly what he's
responsible.
paid to do.
Mr. He isn't responsible because he is working with the resources that he has. And honestly, if you really think about it, with $60 million, right? It's not dollars, quid. Sorry, I keep saying dollars. With 60 million quid, you know what I mean? He got what? Regulon, Vinicius, Bale, um, Hoiberg, Doherty. He got a bunch of guys for
Yeah,
60 million. You know what I mean? Not many,
yeah.
not many people can do that in the board.
No, and look, Levy's doing that much of a great job, right? That half the people I probably don't even think know who Enic are. They're never in the press,
No.
right? That's how job of a good he's doing, and that's exactly what Enic want. They don't want their name in the papers. It's bad press. They don't want it because then they
Yeah.
have to start answering. Then they have to start. The Levy's doing that much of a great job. He's actually shielding Enic from the fans as well because they don't have to come to board meetings with supporter clubs or anything or answer any questions. They send Levy in with a script. This is what you're saying. That's it. Do you know what I mean? So we need to stop blaming. Like, we need to start looking at the real problem. We need to start having, like,
Yeah.
talking to the owners directly instead of Levy or, do you know what I mean? Like, look, I respect a lot of the journalists in the game. It's great that they have contacts inside the club. And I love it when they're talking about players coming in. That actually happens. I love it when they give us stuff like, little drops in the match, like the fact that Doherty was training, doing shooting before the game, and all stuff like that. I love that. But some of these journalists were also paid by the club to put out stories in Enic's interest. It's as simple as that. And do you know what I mean? I don't blame them because they have companies to run as well. Money makes sense. And money talks. But the thing is, instead of investing it in always having all these decoys, invest it in squad and give us what we want as a fan base. Like, I'm putting enough money into this club in merchandise. Everyone here does watching. Everyone that goes to the stadium, millions around the world, and probably Marcelo more than anyone. He has all the jerseys, for fuck's sake. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, no, listen, yeah, it's and then now I have messages from fucking clowns telling me, clipping me about the whole, Milinkovic thing. Oh, this kid doesn't thinks it's FIFA, thinking we can just get Milinkovic for 25 million. Oh, he thinks we have 25 million. Oh, shut up, man. Listen. You know what I mean? How about you come here? You know what I mean? Like I see all these people sending me messages on Twitter, you know what I mean? Big man on the group chat. How about you come in here and explain your side? You know what I mean? Because all I hear is a bunch of excuses and nothing at all. You know what I mean? All I hear is a bunch of excuses and nothing to back up your point. It's just all it is. It's just excuses saying, "Oh, we can't spend because we don't have money." But where,
Yeah,
well, explain to me. How do we not have money? We're one of the richest club in North London. One of the richest club in London in general. You know what I mean? We've been making a profit. We've been making over half a million, half like we've been making half a million profit over the last 20 years. That's how much profit these guys have been making off this club. We have been a
yeah,
self-sustaining club for 20 years, and I am asking for this board to spend for once in their life to spend and invest 1 year in their whole fucking life in investing in this club. They have invested
yeah,
less on transfers than Aston Villa in the last 20 years. And Aston Villa has been mostly a championship side in the last 20 years.
yeah.
They have invested less on transfer than Leeds United in
No,
the
it's a
last
joke.
20 years. And Leeds United was a championship side in the last 20 years. They invested less in West Ham. They've invested less than Crystal Palace. They invested less in almost every club. They've invested less on transfer.
You're 100%
Championship
right,
club,
myself. I can't disagree with
championship
you.
club, championship club has invested more on transfers than us. Championship
Yeah,
boards championship boards that are in financial crisis, real financial crisis, under liquidation,
yeah,
has spent more than us. Leeds United, when they were nearly liquidated, David, you can look up the numbers. They invested more on transfer to try to get them up in the league again than
yeah,
than we did.
yeah,
They were nearly liquidated. 20
yeah. Well,
years. This club,
and the
it's
thing is, Marcelo,
20 years, a profit, half a billion profit. Where's the half a billion going?
yeah,
20
and the thing
years.
is, we're not asking the club to go out and break the bank and bring us in for 100, spend 400 million. What we're asking for is identify the problems and buy the right player in, a sensible signing for sensible money. That's the point here. We're not asking them to be 400 million. We're asking for 100 million, investing in two quality players, which will dramatically improve the squad. I'll take Trevor Norton's comment here. When's the next call-in show for opinions transfer deadline day? Look, Trevor, I will be organising doing something like a call-in show. I don't really want to be stepping on me or Tottenham's TV's toes, to be honest. That's their genre. That's what they do, and they do it better than anybody. But look, I do promise you, I will set up something like that where we can maybe talk something. Transfer deadline day. I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing that day yet. But look, if I do get something going, I will let you know. But look,
Yeah.
Marcelo, back to the facts. Keep spitting facts, man. I'm enjoying this. Even Tommy
Uh,
G here is enjoying this. Yes, yes, yes.
yeah. Look, listen. Like, it's just ridiculous how people have just make the excuses for these players. For this board. It's almost like they love it. It's almost like that we just accept this. You know what I mean? How as a board? You know what I mean? How are you as a fan okay with this? We're the ninth
Hmm.
richest club in the world. This club has reportedly made in the last 20 years. You can look. This is all facts. This is not delusion. All facts. You can look this up. It's in there. It's in the fucking board. It's in there. They have made almost every year, every season, about half a billion. They made 500 million of profits almost every season with this club since Pochettino came in. The Champions League, they nearly made 1 billion in profits that year. We went to the UCL final, David. They almost made a
Yeah,
billion. So long, so many years they made a profit off us, and we've been a self-sustaining club. And then fans, the 1 year, it's like David. It's almost like that friend of yours, right? That always needed help his whole life, and then you
yeah,
help him out. You know what I mean? And you try to help him out. Your whole life, and then when you're down, you know what I
yeah,
mean, and you need help. Um, he kind of just turns his back on you.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
how it's like. You know what I mean? Imagine helping someone out. You know what I mean? We've been helping, and we have nothing at all to praise Enic for. They have done fuck all for us. We have been a self-sustaining club our whole entire time they've been here. Every transfer we gone, every success we gone, everywhere we gone has been a self-sustaining from us, from this right here, this right here. Pochettino, you know
yeah,
what I mean? Harry Kane, one of our own, you know what I mean? Everything like that. All of that came from us, not Enic. Enic, you know what
yeah,
he did? They fed off that fucking success. They ate it up. When they
yeah,
oh man, when Redknapp got that Champions League football, they loved that money. When
yeah,
Pochettino was getting that Champions League football, they loved that money.
yeah,
What was the investment, bro?
yeah,
Where was
yeah.
the
That's it.
investment in the squad?
Exactly. When times were good,
Nowhere.
they pulled the wool over our eyes. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
They
You're
they
100%
they
right, Marcelo.
and then people have the audacity to tell me, "Oh, you think it's like FIFA? You think it's like FIFA?" Well, whoever messaged me on Twitter, how about you deaf fucking idiot? How about you dumb I don't even want to, say anything bad that I'm going to regret, but like, you idiot. How about you fool? How about you do some research for once in your life? How about you look at the stats? How about you look at the numbers? How about you look at actual like statistics and economics and realize that we're actually a rich club and we're not poor, and instead just fucking wanking off to Allison Gold and believing whatever the fuck the club tells them to say. How about you do
Yeah,
your own research for fucking once? You
Marcelo,
blind fool.
we have a comment here for you. Igu, what state does Marcelo live? And I have another comment that you'd live then.
Massachusetts.
Big up. What I will do is actually, if you're up for it, Marcelo, one day we'll sit here and do a Q&A where people just ask us questions and we answer them. This is
Absolutely.
another comment you're going to love here. Did you see the Man U, Arsenal, and Barca fans calling out the owners in front of the stadium?
Yeah, they care.
100%.
They care. And I hate to say it about Arsenal, but they care. Man
Yeah.
United, same thing. They care.
It's so funny, lad. But don't laugh, I'm going to cry because it's so true.
They care. Our fans don't. As simple as that. I think some of our fans really don't, and I'm gonna start calling them out. I'm gonna start being politically correct. Um, Listen, David, if you want to kick me off the channel because maybe some people aren't happy and unsubscribe because I'm gonna start calling them out. I can't, David. I'm sorry. I care too much about the club. If I see
Yeah.
people, I'm just gonna start
No, don't
yeah.
be. Do you, Marcelo? I'll never kick you off this channel. You're always welcome here at the Irish Hotspur. You know that, lad.
Yeah.
Look,
Uh,
do you know what I mean? You have me stumped because coming to that realization about Arsenal that they do it because they care. It's painful. It's painful. Instead, we just sit here we all sit there and say Ty's delusional. We're delusional. I hate to say it. We're delusional. We just sit there and accept it and lap up the stories because our name is in the press. And I tell you where I think that's come from is because we're not used to being a big club. And now that we're a big club, people haven't changed with the times, Marcelo. And do you know what I mean? They're still looking for the bargains and that's just the way it is. That's just Tottenham. No, no. What I call is just people start unifying and just start calling the problems out. You know what I mean? Start looking up at the owners and just start demanding better. You know what I mean? To be honest with you, this transfer window, Marcelo, wouldn't surprise me if we get another loan player in just to appease us fans because they know even if they pull off the tiniest little deal, the fan base will go into a meltdown. We'll absolutely love it. We'll be lapping it up. We'll be saying what a good window. And they're going to pull the wool over people's eyes. But then again, it wouldn't surprise me. To be honest with you, I'm not really excited for deadline day because a lot of things tell me if we don't have something in by deadline day, we're not doing any business whatsoever.
no, we're not. No, listen, we're not gonna sign anyone. Not gonna sign anyone. And then Deli's gonna stay. Deli's not gonna play because Mourinho doesn't want Deli. Then we're gonna have a big fucking shit show where it's gonna be Levy forcing Mourinho to play Deli, but Mourinho wants to play his system, which he rightfully has. You know what I mean? You have a manager of his caliber, you back him, you follow his vision, you respect his vision, you don't give him in. Honestly, the best thing that could happen in this club is Mourinho coming in because he's really proving how much of a bigger of a frauds that this club has.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's really proving how. Because listen, with Pochettino, there was a little bit of excuse because okay, maybe some of his recruiting wasn't fantastic. Okay, maybe he was an unproven manager, I guess. You know what I mean? He never won a trophy, things like that. What are you gonna say about Mourinho? What
Yeah,
you're gonna say he's an unproven manager?
yeah,
You know what I mean? Guys won 3 Premier Leagues. You know what I mean? Guy has like 12 league titles. He's won like over 28 trophies. You know what I
yeah.
mean? You're gonna say he's unproven? Oh, you're gonna say his recruitment is bad?
No,
He
the
brought in
guy's proven.
guys brought in, Melito, Schneider, etc. You know,
This is.
Iran.
Do you know how delusional some of our fan base is, Marcelo? Just come to the realization. So when you're applying for a job, the person with the best CV always wins. Now you're not going to get a better CV than Jose Mourinho.
No.
We as a fan base sit here and scapegoat Mourinho instead of having to go with the players and the board, and it's the
Yeah.
same shit. It's embarrassing, man.
Yeah. I mean, can you get one of the best managers? I mean, and this was what the big excuse was during the Ponche era. Remember, David, this was the big excuse that the
Yeah,
board and a lot of the times the board made to not investing in Pochettino was that he was a fresh free manager. He was unproven. He never won anything. You know what I mean? They didn't want to, risk it on that. They were waiting for a big world class manager. Well, you have him now.
yeah,
What's the excuse now?
yeah, yeah.
You know what I
No,
mean?
100% agree with you.
I'm not buying that we don't have enough money. You go take a quick look. You know what I mean? Instead of being a fool, an idiot, and blind, and just listening to Alistair Gold, because at the end of the day, Alistair Gold just says what the board tells him to say. You got to
Mm,
realize that. You know what I mean? He's not. He's a journalist for the club. I respect Alistair Gold, but instead of just listening to one source, how about you do your own research and realize we're actually very rich. We're one of the ninth richest club in the world. Not London, not England, in the world, David.
yeah,
We have made more profits than any other club in the Premier League over the last 20 years.
yeah,
You also got to realize that. And we have invested less. Our board has invested less than any other Premier League club and the last 20 years in terms of transfers. So all
yeah.
of that, you add all those three together, it tells me that we do have fucking money. It's just that they don't want to spend it.
The money's there. One thing I'm going to do, Bus, is the king of excuses. There's always a reason. Every window, right? There's always a reason why we can't do something. Every window, whether it's, oh, we're building the stadium, or we're waiting for a world-class manager, or the money's not there, oh, it has to be an English player, and English players are too expensive, or, do you know what I mean? Oh, we can't sign this player because of that reason, or because this player has an injury record, so we can't sign him. There's always an excuse.
It's
Whatever
always,
makes sense, an excuse comes out.
and
Do
we
you know what
just
I mean?
buy it.
Because they're an investment firm.
Yeah,
They don't want to
you're
invest in
telling.
players.
Listen. You're gonna tell me. You're really gonna tell me for 5 million, for 5 million quid more, we could have gone Bruno Fernandes for a player that quality. You're gonna tell me that's
Yeah,
excusable. You're gonna tell
yeah,
me that when we bought, and I think it was in Gudo. Maybe I'm wrong. Over Grealish, who was only 6 million more. You're gonna tell me that's excusable.
yeah,
You're telling me when we could have gone Delit for maybe, I think, what was it, 2 million more
yeah.
for Sanchez.
Yeah, we bought
You're telling
Sanchez
me
when we could have went for Delint, you know.
you're telling me that's excusable. Two
Mm,
million more, David.
I
We
know.
probably listen. The amount of jerseys and the amount of merchandise I bought from this club, they probably already have $2 million for me in general.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's a
Do you know,
joke. That's how
another thing,
stingy these guys are. We're not even talking about like. Listen, people think we're being crazy in that. Oh, we think it's FIFA. We're not talking about go out there and spend 80 millions on Zaniolo, or spend like 100 million on Mbappe, or spend 50 millions on Skriniar. For fuck's sakes, Milinkovic is there for 25 fucking million. You can't tell me we can't pull that deal off. Can't tell me.
yeah,
I refuse to believe it. I refuse to believe if we can't spend 25 million, then liquidate the fucking board because we are broke as shit.
yeah, yeah, 100%. Slushy Deluxe comment here. We are excuse FC, but do you think Enic would react if we all turned up outside the club with pitchforks? Look,
Absolutely.
first of all, what I'm saying is we're not obviously look. Let's calm down and let's bring a bit of sense to this, okay? We're not going up to the club with pitchforks.
Yeah.
What we're doing is you can always pick one game to bike up. It it affects their revenue. And when you start affecting their money, is when they will react. Trust me. Do you know what I mean? You can, there's simple things you can do. But one thing I will say with these big business people is, once you affect their money, that's when you get the reaction. So think outside the box. You know what I mean? Stop buying stuff from the club shop or something.
Boycott.
At the end of the day, you're making a short-term sacrifice for a long-term gain, and it's as simple as that. And it's gonna force the board to react.
Yeah, and I hate to say it. Look at the Arsenal fans when they wanted Emery out. Look at what they did. They stopped going to games. They stopped buying merchandises. They made a huge huge boycott, huge protest, and then a couple of weeks later, Emery was out.
Yeah.
And then our club doesn't have the balls to do that because we're cowards. You know what I mean? A lot of our fan base really just. It's funny because I talk to these people and I say, well, do you want to win the Premier League? And they're like, of course. And I'm like, well, do you think we need to sign Milinkovic? And he's like, yeah, but I don't know. Like, we got Dyer. We can do this. And he's like, okay, so you don't want to win the Premier League. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're telling me Dyer, if you're telling what we have is good enough, you don't want to win Premier League. And if you tell me that the board has been acting properly and that the board is right, then you're telling me that you just want failure, because it's been 20 years of failure, David. 20 years, one trophy, one League Cup.
Yeah. Look,
that's failure.
The reason why we're all sitting here so hurt and having these discussions, Marcelo, is our own fault. And let me tell you why. Because Lamela wouldn't be at a club 9 years in any top club around Europe in any top six. He wouldn't be there because of his injury record. Right? Then you move on to Eric Dyer. Again, wouldn't be in any top club in any top six in any country across the world. Okay, in any of the top leagues across the world. Ben Davies wouldn't be either. Serge Aurier wouldn't be either. Lucas Moura wouldn't be either.
Winks.
Harry Winks wouldn't be either. Gareth Bale right now in this situation he's in, he probably wouldn't be either. Only Tottenham. There's a reason why he was touted to United so many times. It never happened. Because United were never interested. Madrid were hanging a carrot there. And Tottenham were the ones that bit. And because we sit there and we always make excuses that, they're a good squad player though, aren't they? Yeah, okay, it's good having good squad players when you have your first 11 and a couple of substitutions on the bench that are good enough to be at your club and make a difference. Then it's okay to have squad players. Yeah. But not when you only have 4 players that deserve to be out there week in, week out, and then these squad players are filling in and out rotating, because they're all squad players.
Yeah.
Apart from
if we're really looking at the starting lineup, let's be real here. The only players that really deserve to play week in and week out is Kane, Son, Højbjerg, and I'm even being generous for Baller, because sometimes he gets tired and he goes missing in the second half. You know what I mean? So, and really, if we're really talking about who really deserves it, it's only really 3 players, David. So now though, Kane and Højbjerg, those are the only 3 players that always gets in my team sheet, all the time. And if you look at Sissoko, for me personally, he wouldn't always get on my team sheet. I respect.
No, he wouldn't. But he's one thing he has done is stepped up this season, and he's the best out of the rest. That's what he is.
I agree. He's not. I don't think he's good enough to be a starter, but I would love to have Sissoko as a bench option. But you know what I mean. But if you look at him and Winks, personally, I don't choose Sissoko, but also, it's kind of a toss-up, really. Like, if you look at almost every position, it's almost like a toss-up, David. The right-hand side is a toss-up. Nobody knows who's really the best player there, It's either a fight between Bergwijn, Lucas, and Bale. You look at, a center back, we almost, for fuck's sakes, we even took out Ben Davies from left back to center back because we don't even know who the fuck our real center back is, you know what I mean? So, we keep switching them off, on and off. We have no consistent starting 11. That's how shit the squad is. There's no consistent starting. You look at right back, 1 week is Aurier, 1 week is Doherty, the next week is going to be Taganga. You know what I mean? The next week it might be me. You know what I mean?
And when you're on the board and you see the fans making excuses for these players, Marcelo, they're sitting there laughing. That's exactly what they want. Yeah. They're sitting there saying, "Oh, sure, they're making excuses for Harry Winks. It's brilliant. We don't have to go and buy Sabitzer." They're all sitting there loving Winks. They're sitting there laughing at us. Yeah, I want to address this comment by Paul Anderson. How can you back Jose but not back Poch after all he did for us? What has Jose done for us to be back the way he got back in the summer? And he still can't get the best out of the players. Okay, first of all, what I want to say is we did back Poch. Every single one of us here back Poch. The reason why we're giving Mourinho the backing is because the common denominator between the two times of failure on the both tenures is the players. So that's why we're calling out the players. We're not like backing Poch over giving Mourinho more back than what we've ever given Poch. The fact is, we've come to the realization and quicker, and thank God that me and Marcelo have done this quicker than most, because you don't want to end up like Arsenal down the road, where after 4 or 5 managers you realise it's the players, and then it's too late.
Yeah,
you know
no,
what I mean?
listen, yeah, like listen, and Poch, I think he's talking about maybe transfer wise, backing Poch. I think Poch obviously should have been backed. But the thing is, the reason is, if you're gonna choose who do you back the most, either between Poch or Mourinho, it's Mourinho. You get Mourinho, you back him with every fucking resources you have. You know what I mean? And listen, I'm down to do a quick player rating right now, because listen, I'm gonna give ours some heart. Yeah. All right, you ready? Hugo Lloris.
Yeah, let's go.
Hugo Lloris, you get a 3. Embarrassing, schoolboy. Eric Dyer, you get a fucking 0. You pussy. Ball watching. Sunday
0.
league. Bullshit.
Not
0.
Shit.
Rodon, you get a 5. You get a 5. He tried.
Yeah, he tried.
But still, made the mistake. You get a 5. Davies, you get a 2. I don't even remember you playing in the game. You get
to be honest with you,
Doherty,
Marcelo, I kind of feel guilty giving the guy 2 because we've given him so many chances now. You know what I mean? I think we should give him a 0 as well. Like, you can't make that mistake and be like, you can't just blame Dyer. You have to blame the clown squad with him. It's also Davies. He's dying to be a member of the clown squad. In fact, he wants to be the leader. He was also at fault with the first goal, and that's what killed us. Ultimately, that's what killed us. So the 2 clowns have to get the same rating. So I'm going to give him a 0. I've come out, we've tried, and he just lets us down.
Yeah, Doherty, you got a fucking 0 as well, buddy. You played a right wing back. You played your position. No, yeah, -2, bro. You know what I mean? Like you make a stupid foul when you have a guy surrounded with 3 men. Just the dumbest, stupid, brain dead foul. So you got a 0 as well. Fuck off. Wanks, you got -10. You got a -10. You know what I mean? How dare you celebrate when we're down? When we're losing a game. You know what I mean? What type of mentality is that? Højbjerg, you got a fucking 10. Højbjerg is the only out there I'm going to give a 10.
Yeah,
he can keep his head up. He fought his ass off.
Everything about him, Marcelo, his character, his drive to win is exactly what we should be building our club around right now.
He gets a fucking 10. Actually, maybe I'm being a little bit too. I'll give him a 9 because he didn't slap Winks in the face. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'll give him a 9 because he didn't slap Winks in the face. If he had slapped Winks in the face, he would have gotten a 10. I'll give Højbjerg a 9. But he's the only out there. He's the only one out there who can go out there and say, you know what, guys, you're shit. I did my job. You know what I mean? I tried my best. I gave everything out there. He's the only one that can say that. And no baller, 6. Great first half, same shit in the second half. Got tired. What the fuck? Come on. Put the burgers down. Stevie, 3. You know what I mean? What were the chances created? I mean, I know he worked a lot. I know he made a lot of runs, but fuck's sakes, where's the chances creating? You know what I mean? From the right hand side, no chances. Nothing from the right hand side.
I'm Stevie B, Marcelo. To be honest with you, I kind of feel let down. Like, we all he got he got abuse after the Liverpool game, and he got racial abuse, and you can never condone that. It's not good enough, right? But we've all come out in such strong defense of him, and he just hasn't given us anything to keep defending the guy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like his performances, we can't keep defending. Like, you don't buy a right winger for the defensive side of the game. You buy the right winger to score goals and create chances. We actually have a young lad who used to be in our academy and left, and he's now playing at PSV. His name is Madueke, I think. I think that's how you pronounce it, right?
Yeah.
Do you know he's been involved in something like, I think it's like 18 goals this season for them off the
Yeah, I
wing?
saw that. Yeah, yeah.
You
Sad.
know?
Yeah. And we let him go. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
look, listen, Stevie B, you got a 3. You worked hard. You worked your socks off, but you got to create, man. Sonaldo, given for his standard, that's a 2 performance. That's a 2 out of 10. Should be burying those
Yeah.
goals, and he has been in
Yeah.
poor form. But with
Yeah.
Sonaldo, I have confidence that he will come back because he is a class player. He's a world class player, and he will come back. Kane, unfortunate, got injured. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Aurier. Oh, Aurier. I didn't even get Aurier. Aurier, you get a negative 800. Leave the club.
Yeah. Yeah.
Leaving like that. That's
What he done at halftime, you just don't do that.
yeah.
You
Never,
just don't do
never.
it. You left the boys in the
Negative
trenches.
800.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a negative 800. Yeah, get out. Thank you. Um. Uh. What am I missing? What other trash am I missing?
Um,
Lamella.
Lamella.
Lamella. 0. You want to hear a funny
Uh,
joke? You want to hear a funny joke, David? When we
yeah.
bought Lamella for from Roma, I think there was a add-on bonus for Roma, right? If Lamella
Yeah.
scored, I think what was 20 Premier League goals, we would have to pay Roma 50 no, we have to pay Roma 15 million quid if he scored 20 Premier League goals. Roma's still waiting for that bonus after
Yeah.
8 years.
And they will be
Roma
waiting for a long
still
time
waiting.
yet.
20 Premier League goals. This guy hasn't scored 20 Premier League goals in 7 fucking years, David.
But correct me wrong, I actually think he's here 8 or 9. Ben Davies is here 7, and he's been here before Ben Davies.
8 or 9. Jesus. He averages about 3 goals a season. 3 Premier League goals a season.
Yeah. It only happens at Tottenham, Marcelo. It only happens at Tottenham.
and then people are saying we can't let him go. Oh my god. David.
I'm actually getting to the point where if I don't laugh, I'm going to cry. You know, today's result is just deflating.
Yeah.
It's just inexcusable.
Yeah, it is, man.
You know, look, is there anything you want to talk about before we end the stream, Marcelo? One thing I do want to say, I do actually see a couple of new faces in there I haven't seen before. If you're not a member, make sure you subscribe to the hottest channel on YouTube right now, the fastest growing Tottenham channel on the big push for 1K. You, the Harris Army out there, can help me do it and help me be a success. So come on and get behind me. And Marcelo, have you anything else you want to talk about?
Look, man, it's sad today, David. You know what I mean? I can see in your face. You look devastated, man. And it's because you care. It's because you care, man. You know what I mean? We're devastated, and we say, you know what I mean? And people think we have joy in saying this. You know, we're saying for views. Oh my God, you're an idiot. You know what I mean? Like when we were top of the league, we were flying high. You know what I mean? We were so happy. We couldn't wait to do a video. You know what I mean? I don't want to do this video, bro. I don't want to do this video. You know what I mean? I don't want to be here talking about losses and who we need to sell. I want to be talking about lifting trophies, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, if we want to talk about lifting trophies and challenging for league titles and having glory, we have to talk about the fucking problems. You know what I mean? We have to talk about we have to address the elephant in the room, and that's Enic.
Yeah.
So, listen, it's gonna be tough times. Let's hope. All we can do is hope for Mourinho, and he pulls some magic. That's it.
But we have to play our part too. We have to start mentioning the board and getting our name out there. We have to play our part.
Absolutely.
One thing, look, we have 51 watchers right now. So what I do say to every 51, if you can really help me get over the 1K this week, if everyone shares this stream, because to me, I think this has been the realest chat anyone has seen in a long time. And it's been a great chat. We have covered, I think, possibly everything there is to cover, and it's all sensible talk. So everyone needs to share this and get this out to the Spurs fan base. So I'm expecting 50 shares off this video tonight. Look, we're Premier Hotspur TV, Marcelo. David, there's stories going around that ice and water got chucked around the dressing room. That's why Aurier left. We're talking about ice and water, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is this.
This
it's
is
a joke. Like, if you're leaving because water and ice is being chucked around the dressing room, you're a disgrace. I've
Yeah.
been in some of the league dressing rooms where people have had people up at the wall at halftime because they've made a mistake and it's not been
Yeah.
good enough, and the reaction has been
Dunga.
wrong. We're talking about ice and water. Stop being a pampered little bitch, or stop being a pampered little bitch. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's ice and fucking water.
Yeah. Listen. Dunga, who was a Brazilian player, Brazilian national team player, World Cup winner. He used to go, you know what I mean, a real captain, a real man's man, you know what I mean? He used to go in
Yeah,
a dressing room and he used to look at players, you know what I mean? He used to put them against a wall and say, you know what I mean, this is Brazil, you know what I mean? Look at the badge you're playing for. That's bullshit. Don't ever do that again. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Sir Alex Ferguson used to go up to players and scream at their faces, you know what I mean? The blow dryer, that was the nickname, you know what I mean?
yeah,
And he
yeah.
used to
The
do that.
hairdryer treatment.
Yeah, the hair dryer. Yeah, the hair dryer treatment. You know what I mean? He used to do that. And you know what I mean? And players used to go out there and play even harder. If Aurier had
Yeah,
any sort of cojones, and this is what I mean, David. This is why we need to get rid of these players because of that. Because when you put pressure on them and you criticize them and you put the spotlight on them, they crumble. They
yeah,
fall apart. And Aurier just proved that. Him leaving proves that. It proves him what
yeah.
type of mentality he has.
Yeah, it proves exactly what we've been talking about the mentality, Marcelo.
Yeah,
It just proves it. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? Why he's afraid to get wet and have a little bit of ice dripping down the
yeah.
back of his shirt.
He's
Fuck
afraid of a
off.
little fight.
Fuck
He was
off.
afraid of a little fight. You know what I mean? David, I'm telling you right now, you put me, right, with a bunch of Argentinians, right? Because, Brazil and Argentina, you know what I mean? We put each other in the football pitch, we're having a fight. That's just how it is. Me and my dad always say it, you know what I mean? If you put an Argentina and Brazilians playing against each other, you're going to have a fight. Because that's the way the nature is. That's how football is, man. You know what I mean? If you want to win, you know what I mean? You want to
Yeah,
win. If you want to
yeah.
win, you know what I mean? Just go out there,
Look,
get stuck in, fight.
another thing. Yeah, 100%. You have to fight. That's what you want. You want the passion. Okay?
Yeah.
When you're losing, the last thing you want to be doing is walking off. Look, Mr. K says, to be honest, Arya's been brought up in a rough neighborhood. He probably left because he doesn't want to punch someone. Right, look, so
I
we're
wish you
talking about
punch him. I
mentality
wish you
again.
punch
No, but the thing is, that's another excuse for Arya. Right? The thing is, channel your anger in the right way. Go out in the second half,
him. Yeah,
okay?
improve him.
You go up to Mourinho and you say, "Do not take me off. Give me the next 5-10 minutes to prove to you why you shouldn't take me off." Right? That's the reaction Mourinho wants. If you go to any manager and say that, the manager's going to give you 5-10 minutes. He knows you mean business, and you get your fucking ass out there and you make sure that you give the best 5-10 minutes in the Spurs jersey you've ever given. When there's a fire underneath your ass and you're in danger of coming out. That's the reaction I want. Again, let's stop making excuses for him.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? It's water and ice. At the end of the day, the only thing, you know what I mean? Maybe he needed water and ice because he needed to wake up. You know what I mean? Maybe that's exactly what he needed. Maybe Lloris was trying to help him out. So you know what I mean? Look, at the end of the day, he just proved what we believe about these guys. They're pussies. They run away from a
Yeah,
fight. They run away from a fight. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That's what they do. You look at Zlatan. That's a real man. You know what I mean?
yeah,
He had Lukaku, a beast. You know what I mean? Lukaku is, you know what I mean, jacked. Go up to him and you know what I mean. Zlatan put his head in there. I mean, maybe he got a red card, but Zlatan was, you know what I mean. He fought for his team. He said, "Come on, let's
yeah,
go." You know what I mean? I'm here. Let's go. Bring it
yeah.
on, baby. You know what I mean? That's what Zlatan. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, if we had a team of Zlatans with that mentality, we would be champions. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. And one thing else I do want to add on to this, Marcelo. How many players do you think actually like 3 points is what means? Like if they get 3 points, they're absolutely delighted. Do you know what I mean? How many players do you think winning actually means everything? Turning up to win a game is why they turn up, not just to be a part of it. Are you saying two,
Three.
three?
Three. Hoiberg, Sonaldo, and Kane. You see Sonaldo, when he has a bad game, he looks absolutely devastated. He feels like he let the team down. You know what I mean? Fulham, he was absolutely devastated. He said he let the team down and everything. This is a guy that turns up for us week in and week out, David. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Criticizing himself. You know what I mean? This is probably one of the guys with the most credit in the bank. You know what I mean? Criticizing himself more than players that, fucking fuck up for us week in and week out. You have
yeah,
Hoiberg criticizing himself, feeling down. You know what I mean? This is another guy
yeah,
with credit in the bank. You look at Kane, just absolutely always annoyed, always giving his all every game. Man didn't, he didn't have two fucking ankles, and he was trying to play. For fuck's
yeah,
sakes,
yeah, yeah. I
those
fully agree
three,
with you.
those three.
Um,
After that, nobody fucking cares.
yeah, 100%. And we'll take this last comment before we sign off.
Yeah,
From DVV. Lloris apparently called Ori out because he switched off for the goal. That's exactly what I want from our players. Everyone should be made accountable for the individual errors. Fully agree with you.
yeah,
100%. I can't disagree with that. But what I will say is there was more than Ori at fault for that goal. A lot
yeah,
more.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Poirier, Rodon, Dyer,
Lloris, Lloris
David,
himself was at
Reese.
fault. You know what I mean? At the end of the day,
What?
Lloris needs. Like, what I would rather do is Dyer stand there and say to Lloris, "You sack of shit. You're calling me out, but you're afraid to come out and catch the ball because you might ruin your pretty face because you might take a bang." You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
not storm off like a little girl, get in your car and go home crying to the missus. Oh, Hugo had a go at me. But
yeah.
Hugo, don't be. Hugo can't be delusional either. It's in the 6 yard box. That's his
Oh
box. That's
man,
what he's asked to control.
David, we had such fucking little girls at our club, man. Oh man, you know what I mean? I remember one comment where they say, "Oh, it's Mourinho's fault that Dele Alli wants to leave." You know what I mean? You should have went up to him and put a father, put a hand over his shoulder, because Dele, didn't have a father. You know what I mean? And he needs like kind of a father figure manager. I mean, what the fuck is that, David?
Yeah,
What the fuck is that, David? You know what I mean? Father
yeah.
figure manager. He's your boss, not your fucking, family member. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
If
but
I have a
they
bad
had the
day,
father figure manager on the Pochettino. You know what I mean? They still
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
give any other reaction.
I don't give a fuck, David. You know what I mean? Like, if my boss, right, came in and put a hand over my shoulder and said, "Don't worry, Marcelo, you'll have a good day, buddy." You know what I mean? And treating me like I'm his son, I'll be like, tell him to buzz off. You know?
Yeah,
So, man, we have
100%.
some real pussies at our club, man. Ugh.
100%. Look,
All right,
Marcelo,
David.
I,
Yeah, we
I, I
can end
think
it
I
off
think I
here.
think we're gonna sign off. Just to the Harris Army out there, like I said, there's 50 is watching. If you want me to smash the 1K subs, make sure you share this live stream around and tell them it's the most sense that anyone has ever talked in a live stream. Make sure you share it around. Also, to the newbies out there, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Also, big up Marcelo. Thanks very much for coming on and doing this. I know it's been a long day with the watch along and doing this. It's hard. We all needed it. Everyone needed therapy. Look, the bus keeps moving. We dust ourselves down, pick ourselves up, move on to Brighton, get the 3 points. We're out. In Jaws we trust. Come on, you
Come on, you
Spurs.
Spurs.